So what was on the agenda today on the old death days? I came over, picked up the oxygen tanks. We are right now figuring out what scriptures we're gonna read at the eulogy. We're getting her obituary done, and we're figuring out the RSVP list for the fucking after party. The Irish wake for the what do you call it, the reception? Whatever, the Irish wake. We're doing Irish wake, so we're going to mass, then we're going to the gravesite, then we're getting fucking hammered. Now I'm going to tell you the jokes. If you're not a fan of, I guess, dark humor, or if you're going to be like, golly, if you even think like, man, these are brutal, you should just end it right now and keep me in a positive light. Know that these jokes too are some of these I said in front of my mom, like while she was still, here. She laughed, she enjoyed them. I mean, the thing is, she knew she was gone. Like, she had talked to us about all the stuff, like make sure this is set up in the will and the life insurance, and so but she laughed at these. So with that. And these are just things I've, as a comic, you observe things, and then, or something will happen and immediately you're like, it makes you laugh. It may make you laugh followed immediately, like, yikes, that is brutal. For example, so, my sister had called me on Sunday, and she was like, because I was going to originally be here Thursday. She called me Sunday and she's like, you probably should hustle up. It's going bad. So I did like oil change, all the stuff on Sunday, and left Monday morning at 6 a.m. It's a 9.5 hour drive. And just, I'm talking to my sister as I'm driving, to my brother-in-law. And, I was just thinking, if I get like 5 minutes from my mom's place and I get a call that's just like, hey, so yeah, she passed. You can just go ahead and head back. I'd be like, you better fucking prop her up, do a weekend at Joni's. My mom's name's Joan. We better be doing a weekend at Joni's or something. I'm paying my fucking respects. 9.5 hours. I know. See, it's a lot of these. Trying to think of it. There was so much stuff that as you can't help but laugh. Like, some of the stuff's ridiculous. Like, we had a pastor come, or chaplain. I don't know what the different terms, preacher, pastor, chaplain, priest. I think he was like an on-call chaplain or whatever. So he comes to the house. He came to the house the day she passed at around 4-ish, I think. She passed at 10:30 at night. So he's in we're all in the bedroom with my mom. And, granted, my mom, she's probably gone, the soul, the mind, but she's still breathing, like she's sitting there, doing that, and that rhythmic breathing. So the pastor or the chaplain's talking to us, and he's just like, he looks at her and he's, rubs her head and stuff. And he says to her, he's like, yeah, she's doing what is called actively dying. She's actively dying right now. And this is exactly how the next few things I'm about to tell you is exactly how he said them. In front of her, right? She's fucking right there. She's like, he goes, she's doing what we call actively dying. Yeah, so she's actively dying right now. And eventually she's going to have what's called a death rattle. And that'll be like when she passes, is after the death rattle. Says both those things fucking right there. And then ends it with, and one of the last things that goes is the hearing. I'm like, well, then why don't you fucking take this outside? She's fucking right there. Why don't you go whisper it in her ear? You're actively dying. Did you know that? Jesus. Have a little fucking couth. What else? Fucking going to pick out the coffin. Somebody was like, don't say coffin, say like casket. Coffin sounds so harsh. I'm like, what are you, fucking death box? What am I? It's a fucking, I don't know, coffin casket. But it's so, you go in there And God bless the dude that's like trying to pitch us, but I mean, you know, here's an array of coffins. I'm like, you know, and we're like, what color would she like? You know, it's so fucking bizarre. I'm like, this one got hydraulics. What kind of, you know, can we get some speakers in this one? It's so fucking weird and dumb, the whole thing. Then another thing, I remember we were in the living room talking, and my brother-in-law, because we were talking about, like, you know, we're getting all the ducks in a row. We're like, we got to meet with the attorney, you know, and we were talking about, you know, selling. They're like, hey, Jason, that's my government name. Jason, would you want to, you know, Mom was wondering maybe you wanted to take the house. And I'm like, I mean, it's a beautiful house. I don't want to live in Utah. I mean, people are very nice here. Views are great. But nah, you know, plus I don't even know if I could fucking afford this mortgage. But as we're talking about all that, my brother-in-law was like, he goes, yeah, and also, like, if somebody dies in the house, I think you have to disclose that, you know, to the possible buyers. I again, just how my fucking mind works. And I looked at Gary, my brother-in-law, and I think we like got it without saying anything, but I was like, you know, it made me think that somebody's going to be like, she's about to go, get her in the street, not in the house. Fucking get her in the street. Again, I know these are fucking awful thoughts, but I don't look at it like that was my mom my mom's soul and everything has moved on. That was just a shell. So, I mean, it's just like, are you like, fucking, don't let her pass in the house, you know? Fuck. These are pretty brutal. I mean, they're funny to me. I don't know how you guys are gonna react to them. I also, like, you know, sitting there with my mom, I mentioned before, she did that 12 hours of that rhythmic breathing that just, and you know, you're like, we were all just in this bedroom for 12 hours, and, you know, you're watching her chest, and you're you know, going up and down, and you're hearing it. I almost feel like it was like Mom's little going away of fucking with us, where you're just hearing, and then it would stop, and you're like, oh my God, she's, oh, Mom, we love, and you're like, oh, okay, all right, okay, now false alarm. It's like, all right, fucking pretty good, Mom, got us, fucking got us, good on you. One of my mom's friends is here. She was here through this whole thing, and, you know, I mentioned before we had music playing, you know, we put on like the Frank Sinatra station, played some Italian music, and at one point, my mom's friend requested, she's like, can you put on this song? It's a good Catholic song, church song. So I was like, sure. So I put it on, Ave Maria. I think it was Ave Maria, actually. It was Ave Maria. That's not a church song. I can't remember we'll just say it's Ave Maria. It's not a church song, but whatever the song was. So I'm sitting here looking at my mom. Song starts playing. My mom's friend's over there, and all of a sudden, she starts fucking singing to it. Not good. I'm like, so I'm just looking at my mother, and I'm like, this isn't fucking Star Search. What are you fucking doing? I'm like, are you trying to drive my mother to death? She's gonna be like, I need to get the fuck away from this singing, Jesus. And then another time, you know, everybody, you know, nobody knows what to do, really, what you're supposed to do or say. But we're all around my mom. You know, people are holding her hands or rubbing her leg or feet and her fucking, you know, brushing her hair back and all that. And everybody's saying different things. It's okay, Joan. It's okay, Mom. You can go, this and that. And I thought this, and then I said it because, I mean, and it's funny, at the time we all laughed, but then I was like, I said to everybody, hey, maybe she wants to go, but you guys won't shut the fuck up, so she can't sleep. I'm like, give her a minute, you know, just let it, how about we all just be a little bit quiet? Let's just, you know, just be in her energy. I'm like, because I'm thinking like, you know, if I'm sitting there and I got 8 people like, go ahead, relax, Jay. Just go ahead, Jay. You can go. Go ahead, just close your eyes. It's okay. You know, heaven's getting an angel. Go ahead, close your eyes. I'd be like, shut the fuck up. Jesus, give me some time. All right, here's the last few ones. The other thing, somebody, I don't know if it was the chaplain or, no, I don't think it was. I think it was, might have been my mom's friend or my sister. I don't know. But, you know, as everybody's like, you know, it's okay, Joan, you can let go. And somebody at that point was like, we know you'll always watch over us. You'll always be watching over us. And I looked, I was like, well, hopefully not always. I mean, I don't want my mom to watch everything I'm doing. You know, there's a lot of shit I don't want anybody seeing. So that was one thing. And then this one's, I don't know why this is a thought I had. And this will be a hard one to work out, but you know, it made me laugh thinking about it. It's pretty dark, but I was thinking, you know, you when somebody's family member gets ill and or whatever, you know, a lot of times people will be like, hey, pray for my, you know, my mom or whoever. And people will put that out there, you know, even not even asked for it. They'll be like, I'm praying for your mom and your family, or my family's praying for your mom and this, that. I thank you so much. I appreciate that. I was thinking though, are those prayers, is that like, are those kind of like a God's GoFundMe? And if you don't get to a certain amount of prayers, then the GoFundMe doesn't happen. The Go Save Me, Go Faith Me? I don't know. Like, was God like, hey man, sorry Jay, we didn't reach those prayers, so mom's gotta go. So fucked. But I mean, this is the weird shit that comes into my head. Last thing, again, I've had so many, this is, you know, what's pretty dope is, you know, I post daily videos and, you know, the goal is to make people laugh, give them some entertainment, etc., etc. And holy fuck, am I about to get emotional? Oh, yuck. A lot of you guys, if you're watching this, you provided me humor to get through my shit. From comics to non-comics to people that just watch my videos, were sending me shit to watch to make me laugh, and they did. And fucking, you know, fuck, look at me, I'm getting fucking teary-eyed. That is huge. I want to laugh. I need it. And my two favorites, I posted late last night, I posted a picture of my mom and dad when they were probably 30-ish, 35, and Jesus fucking gross. And my friend, and you know, my mom probably at her hottest, my dad had probably at his hottest. I posted it. My buddy Johnny, who I fucking have known since I was, you know, a kid. We grew up together. And if anybody else not knowing our relationship probably is like, what the fuck? All he posted is, I'd hit that. A day after my mom has passed. You know how fucking inappropriate, but goddamn hilarious that is. I'd hit that. I can picture my mom and dad. I'd hit that. So I replied with, cool, I'll let my dad know. Last thing I want to say, because this was my favorite. This is the funniest thing to me. And I didn't do it justice when I said it before in a video. My buddy Dwayne Goad, great comic out of Seattle, Washington. You know, he messaged me, condolences, this and that. And he ended it, and I want to make sure I get the verbiage right. He was like, yeah, man, when I watched your first video about your mom was, you know, in the hospital, and it wasn't the coronavirus. He said, I've been watching so much news lately. I was like, fucking cops. That is such a fucking perfect joke. And that's a beautiful, perfect joke. Fucking so good. All right, this is the longest video I've done. So thank you, everybody. I love you all. And See you tomorrow.